Got it?
I'm glad I recorded that. No, it's all good. All right, so let's get started. Hi again, it's Tony, and we are again speaking with speakers, and we're learning the business of speaking, because if you don't know that speaking on stage is a business, then you need to come to our Summer School for Speakers in August, because it is a business and you need to know the back end of it. Today, I am very excited to introduce you to Maryann Ehmann. Amen. I just learned that. That's how I'm remembering her name. So she is a mindset coach, but I'm going to let her tell you exactly what she does, because it's always better to hear from them so I don't mess it up, and I have a tendency to do that. So welcome, Maryann. Tell us a little bit about you.
Thank you, thank you. Well, my business is called Magnificent Love, Mindset, and Business Coaching. And you're right, mindset is part of what I do. Business coaching is the other part of what I do. So, and I've been doing this professionally probably 10 years now. And
Awesome.
So I've been around the block a bit.
Well, I love it. I have to say that I've met Maryann through Craig Duswalt's boot camp. And before I was Craig's event planner, I went to his boot camp, and he wasn't ready to step on stage, I don't think. He didn't have enough people had shown up in the audience. So he turned to Maryann, who's been in his mastermind for a very long time, and said, Maryann, take the stage. And Maryann walked up there and did 10 minutes, and I didn't even know that it wasn't planned. You were amazing for just straight off the cuff. And that was several years ago, and you've just gotten better.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I think that you've shifted kind of in your business the last few years, right? Or have you always done the exact, I see a newer, more exciting Maryann and a more confident Maryann, and that could just be that you're more comfortable in your own skin because you've spoke on more stages.
Well, I think that, well, thank you for that. I do feel different, all right? I do feel different, and I think the pivotal moment, you and I have talked about this before, the pivotal moment for me was when my husband got cancer.
Yeah.
So it's been 3.5 years since then. And you know, when something like that happens, you have to dig deep in a way you never had before and pull out. And during that experience, it was interesting because during that experience, I tapped into a part of myself, love within myself, and love for my husband, love for the world. And I found out that this power of love, which is why my business is now called Magnificent Love, because there's a power in love that radiates. And it can actually, it's so strong, and it's so effortless. That's another word. It's effortless, and it flows. So today, when we're talking about magnetic appeal, that's what I'm going to be speaking on on your stage, magnetic appeal, by being yourself. I have found that prior to 2016, I'd been speaking for, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years at that point. And let me say this. When I first started speaking, I was not a speaker. And in fact, my very first speaking engagement was in 1991, and I felt like I was going to be sick every single day prior to that event. And when I did the event, I found out that by connecting with the audience in a way that came from my heart, sharing my experience, being vulnerable and transparent. Now, I did not know that that was a secret. Right? I didn't. All I did was I had all my notes planned, but something took over, and I felt this love inside from my audience. And so when I saw their faces and I realized I'm here to encourage, it's about them, the event went beautifully. And I had somebody come up to me afterwards and say, the leader of it, I'm on a speaking tour. I can put you on a circuit. You're so good. You need to be out there sharing your message. And I said to her, why would I ever do that to myself? And I didn't speak for 15 years.
Wow.
Because it was such I probably had a gift that I didn't know, but the gift really was connecting with the audience. The gift was just allowing yourself to be vulnerable and transparent. And they laughed, they cried, they thought, all of that. But I didn't know, I thought that was a fluke. So that's why I didn't do it. I didn't think that can never be repeated again, and I'm not going to torture myself ahead of time. And I think that's what a lot of speakers do. There's this perfectionism. If I don't have it right, and you know how it is, there's so many speaking programs out there. There's so many people out there that tell you to do it this way and to do it that way.
Right.
Craig, speaking of Craig, would throw me up on stage to get me over perfectionism, to get me over my fear of having to do everything right. And that's why I would never know when it was coming, what we were going to speak about, how long. I didn't even know what to wear that day because I never knew when it was going to be. He just said, just be ready, right? And I think that that's one of the best things that somebody can do is if they have an opportunity to just be on stage and speak their truth and be themselves, something inside of them is meant to connect with that audience, bless them in some way, encourage them in some way. So that was the training I had gotten. And learning how to just be myself on stage was, unbeknownst to me, the secret.
I love it. I love it when I make mistakes on stage or I'm in front of people and I screw up. I mean, Craig even said he spoke at eWomen at their conference last August, and he was it was a new presentation and he kept kind of flubbing it up, and it was funny. And it was the best. He even says this day, that was the best time I've ever had on stage. What a great audience it was. And they were with me and they're behind you, because people don't want to see perfection, because then they feel as though, oh, I can't be that perfect. That's
Exactly.
not me. That's not relatable. It's
Yes.
when you make those little imperfections and you tell stories about what you overcame, because everybody thinks, oh my God, I'm not as smart as she is. I'm not as pretty as she is. I didn't have the opportunities she had.
Right.
But, it's mindset. So we have to tell in our minds that it's okay to not be perfect. And
so one of the things that I do with my clients is I help them, once we get over certain insecurities, because once we resolve that mindset, those insecurities, and we find the jewel inside of them, because sometimes people don't understand that there's a jewel inside of them that needs to radiate. That's what's magnetic, is the jewel inside of them that radiates.
Right.
So you don't work at being magnetic, all right? It's something that happens as a result of uncovering the jewel, right?
Right.
So your jewel is your personality. Your jewel is your story. Your jewel is what you want to deliver and how you want to benefit that audience. Those are the jewels, right? It doesn't have anything to do with your outward appearance. It's something that truly comes from within, that if you allow it to be released, it will be a natural thing. So when it comes to visualizing, I do use visualization. I have people actually create a reality statement, and they're a little different than affirmations. I have them imagine, all right, what is it that you really want the audience to feel? What do you want them to come away with? They're coming into your talk one way and they're going to be leaving another way. What is it you want to happen during that time, right? So we first talk about the energy and the love and the just the ideal setting for yourself, right? And when we create a reality statement that says, my audience is going to be so excited with this information. They're going to be empowered. They're going to know that they can leave with the nuggets I'm going to give them and do something with it. They're going to feel at peace. They're going to be energized. So we do all that first, right? And you feel it in here first.
Right.
And that does allow you to release yourself. Okay?
Awesome.
Yeah. So when Craig asked me to come on stage that morning, and it's true, I had 10 minutes notice.
Yeah.
And what I said to myself was, okay, first I said to him, what the hell are you thinking? What do you want me to talk about? And he said, well, you always talk about mindset. And so I'm like, oh. So I had to calm myself down, tap back into what do I know, and then take that subject matter, like mindset, and say, what is this audience thinking and feeling right now? What are they going to be struggling with as the days go by? And it reminded me, overwhelm. So much information. Do I measure up? Can I do all this? I thought about all the questions that people struggle with in that particular situation. You could do that with any talk.
Right. No, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to be amazing. So if you have not fallen in love with Maryann yet, you will. I mean, come to our summer school for speakers, and she's going to give us an hour of her brilliance. So I will also put Maryann's information and way to contact her if you'd like to. It'll be along the bottom of the screen. And I am so excited to hear you and to have you join us on August 16th. And to share your nuggets. So I appreciate you spending time with me this morning, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. And I hope you sign up for Summer School for Speakers. The link will be in the comments. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye, Maryann.
Bye. See ya.